once they start to, like, oh, like they obviously see that I'm talented. They know that I love acting in theater is where the home is for me. I love to really dive into a character and live with that character for a couple of weeks at a time, and maybe find more things and play with people. But I kind of find TV and film to be more challenging because it's just something different, and it's like a new high that I'm trying to chase. Like, how can I be a master in that craft, right? They say it's not acting little, but sometimes I find it's like you have to bring yourself down a little bit and find more like internal beats and moments as opposed to, the best example I can give is Ian McKellen. He said this. He's like, if I was cold on the stage, I would go like this, right? But if I were on a TV show, you don't need to do that because they're gonna put fake air out there, right? The wind in your mouth and stuff like that. So I love them both. I love them both, but for making a living,
yeah.
Yeah, I prefer theater because I am allowed the opportunity to collaborate more. When you're a series regular, you get an opportunity to collaborate with your director, your writers, showrunners. They'll ask you questions about your character. How do you feel? Or what do you think? But when you're just a guest star or a co-star or just recurring, you don't get that opportunity to say to hair and makeup, I think my character would look like this, or I would like to wear this, You don't get to talk to the director as often because time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money when you are on a set. But in theater, you get an opportunity to work for 3.5 weeks on the same thing. You get to really flesh out your character. I did Tony Stone at the Goodman in 2023. And I remember waking up out of my sleep at 2 a.m. because the director gave me a note. And I called the dramaturg phone until 5 a.m. with dramaturgs, really fleshing out that character. You don't get that opportunity when you're doing TV and film because you got 21 days to get this film. You got
to get the content out.
You gotta get it out of there. But in theater, you really get to work with your ensemble. Even if you are the lead, being the lead of Tony Stone, I had 8 other men on stage that really carried me through. And so I think for me, theater is what I gravitate to more because I get more from it.
Yeah.
But that money on the TV and film,
But it buy you a house
and pay your bills.
But theater's what brings you joy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the reason I act is because to be able to see how I make people feel. When I'm doing a play and I'm on stage and I got all my people in front of me, yes, I'm in my zone, I'm doing my scene, but it's like I feel them. They talk to me, I feel their reactions. They know girl bad, all the extra commentary. And it just makes me feel really good just to be able to feel that. I did my first play, I was 11 years old. And it was called When Silence Screams. With Richard Gallion. Yeah, that's my boy. He was my mentor. He's an amazing person. He helped me. It was my first big play. It had I was playing the role of a young girl. My mom was having an affair. My dad found out. He killed my mom and then killed himself. And I was in the house in the midst of it. And I was about to kill myself right after that. So it's a very heated moment. I had to make myself cry. I had to pick up the gun, put the gun to my everybody in the crowd. Just no, baby, don't do it. And I'm just bawling. They said it was the end of the scene. And when I went backstage, I couldn't stop myself from crying. I was still crying. I was so in my role and in my character that it just felt real. And I was just pouring backstage for like 15 minutes.
You don't get to stop.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
it's not a cut. Let's take it in. It's your show. You do what you do. It's not no stopping us, and that feeling is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like she said, when being a series regular, I was very blessed to be able to have a say so and input in what I didn't like in my character if I didn't want her to wear these things. One of the sites there, very, very she's very nice. She always asks me what do you think your character would do? How do you kids talk nowadays? Do you think we should change that? So that was great to be able to experience that. But if I had to pick one, film is amazing. I mean, not film. Theater.
Yeah. Oh,
Theater is just it's amazing. I love it. Like the acting, I I have, the way we filmed was an episode a week. 2 days to rehearse, 2 days to film. The next week, a new episode. So it was just like that. A play or a theater, we have our 3 weeks to focus on our thing, our practice, and then it's showtime and show day. That's to be able to real life mold myself into my character. So it's just the whole process. Theater is just great.
So I'm saying majority's theater.
Yeah.
Also beauty and TV and film. As an actor, I kind of prefer theater too. So we'll circle back on it. So let's transition to comedy and your work on the Upshots.
Yeah.
Comedy takes courage and timing. What has it been working alongside legends like Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes, and what has that taught you about authenticity and trusting your voice?
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm like, cause in my whole family tell you I'm the most humblest person in the world. When it comes to, that's just me. Comedy and the comedic timing, I've been this bubbly person all my life, and I'm just being able to. My character is just, we just ain't person.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, but I've never got nervous. Like I'm not nervous right now. I've never got nervous. My first day of work, I'm just like, I just feeling in my stomach. I feel like I have. My auntie said you're nervous. I'm like, girl, please. I don't get nervous. Please, no, you're nervous. I was so scared. I was so scared. I was so scared to go around all these legends and these people because it's just like I'm just a regular little girl from Chicago, from the hood. And I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just ready to be on TV. And I got up there, and they are the most down to earth people ever. Like Mike Epps, I call him Uncle Mike.
Period.
That's my.
I know that's right.
They make me feel so comfortable with myself, and it was always like, well, I go back and watch season 1 to then go watch season 5 to see the difference on how I talk and how I carry myself, because I wasn't comfortable in season 1. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm working out new. But every episode and every season, you could see myself being more, putting myself into my character as well.
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, it was real easy.
And I think that's a great transition into how we go about choosing characters. So, Tracy, a question for you. You've worked across Raising Dion, Sweet Magnolias, Black Lightning, and more, all projects that balance entertainment and impact. How do you decide what stories align with your values?
Oh, this is great. So I'm a teacher, and I teach my students the power of no. I think as an actor, you know, you want to do everything. So if I say no to this, when is the other opportunity going to come? But I was blessed to have a friendship with Chadwick Boseman, and I watched his career. He started off, a lot of people don't know this, as a writer. So I met him doing his first play when I was at Tennessee State, and then at Congo Square Theater Company, we reconnected, and he would just be very particular about how he wanted to be seen as an actor. So I took that, and I tell my students, what would Chadwick Boseman, right? How do you want to be seen? A yes to everything might not be beneficial for you as a person. I know so many people that'll say yes to a gig, and they'll come to me and say, I hate my job. I didn't want to be seen that way. And I'm like, well, why did you say that? You wanted money? You know, and then they won't work for extended periods of time because people will typecast them.
Yeah.
So I'm very particular about the roles that I want to be seen. How do I want to be seen in the world? So I would love to hear how you all.
No, I'm not me. So I started acting. It's just been me and my grandma. My grandma is my rock. So she's my manager. She's my grandmanager. That's my key.
I love grandmanager.
Everything goes through my grandma, my emails, my meetings, my setup, my auditions, everything. So my grandma, she's like, you got this audition, you read it and you do it. I had to get to a point where, grandma, I don't want to do this. At least not this audition. I don't like this. I don't like the concept. I don't like the storyline. Like I said, I'm not doing it for a platform, money, or a fan base. I'm doing this because I like how it makes me feel, and I like the message that it's trying to give to people. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And that's something I really had to learn these past couple months, and I've been acting for 9 years. I just had to learn, like, I don't like this, and I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to.
And that's interesting to hear from someone your age, because this generation just wants to be in front of the camera. They don't care about the content that they're putting out.
And then it was, I had an audition for a movie, and it was the movie had a scene that I was very uncomfortable with. And I told my grandma, like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm not old enough to do this. Even if I was old enough to do this, I don't want to be seen as the actress that only gets roles for this specific reason. I don't like that. So I just had, I wanted to be seen as a certain way.
And you have to learn to activate your voice in this industry. In
Yes.
the very beginning, you'll be
They
quiet,
will.
you won't say anything. But at some point, you've got to learn how to say, you know, thank you for this opportunity. I don't think it suits me at this point in my career. You just have to figure out a way to turn it down so that you won't seem a certain way.
Because no matter how much money they give you or the platform you can get from it, if it doesn't make you feel better as a person or make you feel like you're doing something good, there's no reason to be doing it.
That's right. You're already doing an uncomfortable job, so it's like you got to be comfortable in the best ways that you can.
Yeah.
Because I've only said no to a few things, but I remember the first time I said no, it was the most powerful thing ever because I was auditioning for a casting agency here who like cast one of the big shows like Chicago PD here, and I remember I walked into the room and I was auditioning for a guest star, and before I went in the room, they gave me a side for a co-star, and I had already done the show before. I had already done the co-star thing. And I was like, I wanted to do guest stars. So I told my agent, push me for guest stars. If I'm going to do the show again, I want it to be a guest star only. So I go in the room. The casting director's not even in there. She's got her casting assistant in there. And I just felt so disrespected. I was like, what? I'm coming here for a guest star? And I did the co-star audition. I did all that. And I remember talking to my agent. I vented to them. I was like, they're not taking my career seriously, like this, that, and the other. And they're like, maybe you're just having a bad day, Kevin. And I was like, no, I'm not.
No.
And I'm having a bad day now. Right?
Yeah.
And then I remember they gave me a call back for the co-star, and I turned it down. And my agent looked at me and was like, "What? You're turning it down? Like, no, maybe you should sleep on this." I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't. It's guest star better. That's all I want, right?" The very next day, I got a call back for the guest star, and I booked that guest star. And that was the most powerful feeling ever. And it gave me that activation to tell my friends, like, if that's something that you don't want to, I mean, I've played Thug number 3 a million times already. If I'm gonna play Thug number 3, let me play Thug number 3 with a conscience or a voice or an arc, like let me have a little bit more nuance, so
give me a name or something.
Exactly.
And if you don't say no to those things, they will put you in a box.
Yeah.
They will say that, Tanya Sriracha is the writer, showrunner for Vita. I was understudying a play at like Victory Garden, Steppenwolf, whatever, and we were doing a commercial, and I told her, she was like, "What are you doing now?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm understudying." She was like, "Let that be your last understudy, because they'll make you the understudy."
Yes.
And that was very early in my career.
Yeah.
That was like 2007.
Yeah.
And I was like, way back.
I was 2 years old.
Okay, here he is, so present.
But that taught me something. She was like, "You're not an understudy. So get the experience.
Yes.
You said your yes to your co-star.
Yeah.
But then when it's now time to elevate,
Yeah.
you gotta tell your agent, I'm not gonna do that. But thank you so much."
Kevin, let's dive a bit more into your journey. So you've been a part of Harvard Force, Empire, Chicago PD, The Chi, Chicago Fire. How
All Chicago.
All Chicago. And that's where it's leading to. How has it been working in your city? How has it shaped your sense of artistic purpose?
If you don't know already, Chicago is the town to be in.
Okay.
One, for theater, right? Like, you'll never find any place where you can. There's storefront theaters, like big theaters like Goodman and Shy Shakes and Steppenwolf. It is the playing ground for actors, I feel, where you can feel comfortable and safe. And there's never been a nicer community I've fallen into as opposed to the actor community here. Everybody's got everybody's back, and everybody's doing something else. Like the people that I worked on Power with, they own their clothing line, and they were able to get their clothing on that show. My friend Corey, he owns this one called Gravy, and he got his stuff from there. And Chicago shaped me so much that it's just made me so comfortable to go anywhere else. Like, I've shot shows in New Jersey, and everybody's trying to get that Chicago flavor. Oh, what's it like in Chicago? Like this, that, and the other. And I'm like, they're built. We need more studios here.
Yeah.
We do need that, but there's so much talent here that it's running through me. That's all I can say about it. It shaped me into who I am today, and I wouldn't be Kevin Trayvon Patterson without Chicago.
Without the rap.
So most of us are very multi-hyphenated. We wear many different hats. Why is it important for us to be multifaceted as creatives?
Because of AI.
I mean, we can bring it up. I think it might be time to bring it up. I think it's time to bring it up.
Since you said it.
Well, no, I think you need to. This industry is already hard. Like I said, you have to have thick skin because I've gotten told no so much. But when you have people, like I've dabbled in writing. I'm still writing. I consider myself an artist as opposed to just an actor because I don't want to be labeled just as an actor. But I do write. I do see myself as a director. You know, I remember I wrote something one time and a writer told me, he's like, "Why did you write it in this vision?" And I was like, "Well, because this is what he told me. He said, your script is too detailed." He said, "You're writing all the shots in there." And I was like, and he said, when you present this to somebody, like let's say you want someone to pick it up, they're gonna want their director to come in and have their own vision. Like he gave an example of the Coen brothers. Like if you pick up a Coen brothers script, it's super bare. It's like in a house, and then it's just lines, right? And then there's room for collaborative vision there. But you have to be multifaceted because you have to make your own doors that you have to open yourself.
Yeah, you remember Family Matters when Judy went upstairs and never came back? That's why you should be multifaceted as well. Because you could be the actor on a show. You're like 10 years later, you're like, whatever happened to?
That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is being my little one-hit wonder. And I did my little, I'm over it now.
Exactly.
And it was just always after those. Yeah. I just finished filming. My last day of work was just April 3rd. That was my last day of work, the final season of the show. I don't got no job right now. I'm unemployed. I haven't, and it's just been these past couple months. And then I just graduated high school as well. So, thank you. And I was in a place where myself, like, I don't know what to do. As far growing up, it's like a lot of things I've been told is like, I'm not good for nothing but acting. And that's the word really was, and I ain't really never take that as nothing like, okay, that's what I want to be good at. But then I had to think about it, like, what you mean? You know? So I started to branch off and stuff that made me, that I also enjoyed I learned from the Upshaws. Every time we say cut, I'm behind the cameras. I'm working with the cameraman. I was the sound people. I'm talking to the director, everything. Kim Fields was able to be in an episode and direct the same episode she was in. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. I have to do that. So my manager is like, yeah, you be a triple threat. You be an actress, a singer, and dancer. This ain't Disney Channel, baby. I want to be an actor, a director, a producer.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, when I had all the spare time on my hands this summer after not filming the Upshaw, so I'm like, too much free time can turn into a lot of too much free time. So I'm like, I need to do something productive. So I just filmed my first independent short film. I wrote it and I directed it. I flew out to California to film it with some of my Upshaw's people. They have a really good support system. Some people, they played in it for free. I had camera crew, makeup, all that. So it felt amazing to be able to say, I don't like how this looked. I want to redo this. I don't like this line. I want to change it. Just being able to do that on the spot. And so, yeah.
It's important to be multifaceted. You spoke about gifts.
Yeah.
We don't have just one gift as an actor, right? We have other gifts. I'm a teacher. I like to coach actors. It brings me joy when my artists come in and say, I booked X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, we booked that. So I just think you can find different careers, by being multifaceted in this industry.
And it keeps you in the power seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of waiting for the yes, I can do my own.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You ain't got to hire me for no movie. I'll write my own.
Okay. So this industry tests our faith and our patience. What practices or habits help you all stay aligned with your purpose?
The Lord.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
That's good.
You have to have a group of individuals as well. A friend group, a village, a tribe that understands, and that's the thing I did love about Chicago was the community. I live in Atlanta. I'm based in Atlanta now, and we don't have the same kind of Chicago community because we used to go in for auditions, but when I moved to Atlanta in 2012, they were doing self-tapes then.
Wow.
See, Chicago and other markets, they were still going into the room, and so when self-tape came, everybody was like, "What's the self-tape?" Like, we were like, "Oh, we've been doing this." So when community, I think it's important to build that. And I'll let you all speak.
I started off acting really young. I was 11 years old. I'm in 5th, 4th grade. I'm still trying to go to the sleepovers, be with my friends, the parties, all that. I didn't quit like 5 times because I can't do what I want to do because I have to go to rehearsal.
Yep.
I have to study my script. So it had to really come down to my responsibilities. I had to learn how to be responsible. And if this is what my grandma always told me, you don't have that. You told us you wanted to do this. So if you say you wanted to do this, you do this. You don't sit, you don't waste nobody else's time. You sit and focus and do what you gotta do. Because her baby, you're not gonna embarrass me. That's all my grandma said. You don't tell me to tell these people that you're gonna come and you're not gonna come. That's embarrassing. So my thing is my community too, my village. My family don't play no games. I can't get no big head. I can't be cocky. I can't think I'm better than nobody else, but I also won't just sit on my butt and be no failure. So my village is everything for me. They help me. I know this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all those things. Knowing that you're not going through this thing alone, that's why I think the tribe and village is important. Something that I also do is you also have to treat yourself. Every now and then, every time I do an audition, I just go in there. Michael B. Jordan taught me this, not personally, but I saw it in the clip. He said that he goes into audition, does the audition, and he'll take that paper, whatever the side was, wrap it up, throw it away, right? And then my acting teacher, he said that after every audition, what you should do is treat yourself to something. Yes. Whether it's a meal, whether you wanted to go buy some sneakers, or there's something, maybe you wanted to go buy a painting, just treat yourself to something and know that you did the best thing that you could do, and you have to leave it all in the room. Because the no's you get is like getting ghosted every day. Mm-hmm. You don't get a no all the time. Sometimes you just never hear nothing back. It's just radio silence.
It's so annoying when you don't hear back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Y'all can't tell me nothing.
Exactly.
It is. So it's just a little treat that I like to do for myself.
Yeah.
I'll add to that. I started my own nonprofit, Date Yourself Girl.
Yes.
And it's turned into more philanthropic work in the community. So I started giving back to the community as a means to take myself out of my situation. Because really, we ain't doing that bad, right? So I started doing more community engagement, and that brings me a sense of purpose as well. And, more community, engagement doesn't hurt because you get to connect with people and inspire them. And I think that is important for us. I would like to see more of us in the community. I talked to some SAG reps and I was like, why don't we go feed the homeless? Why don't we, so I started doing it.
I think what Kevin said, I've never been the type of person to pat myself on the back or give myself a congratulations, which I should have. I've been working really hard for the past 5-6 years. And I've never sat down. When I got the part of the upshaws, my whole family cried. I'm like, what y'all crying for? I ain't even there yet. You're not happy. I'm happy, but the job just not starting. I never was able to sit down and think you really did this. You are who you are. You grew from what happened, everything that you've been through. So I've never been able to give myself a pat on the back. So once I learned to do that, it also feels good. I just start loving myself and take care of myself as far as you deserve this because you earned this. I did this for me. I worked hard for this, and I deserve all my outfits and my hair appointments and my shoes that I buy myself.
I think sometimes it's hard to give yourself a pat on the back because you're like, I don't know.
I don't want to see
when the next one is coming. So I got to focus on this thing. So it's hard to be nice to yourself, but I think it's key.
I still haven't given myself a big pat on the back for the Upshaws. Yeah, I don't believe it's over until
I was gonna say, y'all please give yourself pats on the back.
When the last season dropped, then I give myself a pat on the back because I've accomplished something. I did this complete series. I finished. Then I feel very, very proud of myself. I can't wait.
You feel proud.
Hood hierarchy, they know that's you.
Yeah, that's the
Hood
podcast.
hierarchy.
That's the podcast.